Matthew, Circuit 9 is a horse who was a bit of a mixed bag last time out on debut. He gave you one or two headaches before the race, but was good during it. What's your overall assessment of that performance?
Well, we're pretty happy. We knew he would jump on turns, but then be slow to muster. But we knew he would be hitting the line, so we're pretty happy with how it turned out.
And just obviously, I mentioned slight antics beforehand. He was a little bit reluctant to go to post. Was that just a case of first day at school nerves kind of thing?
I would assume so. I mean, it's first time out under pressure, so hopefully he's learned from that and he'll be a bit more docile going to the gates this time.
And the nature of the win, obviously, as you say, I mean, he did start that bit slowly but came home strongly. Going up to 1,200 metres, I mean, that looks sure to suit him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like the further he gets with the distance, the better it will suit him. He seems to jump well enough on terms with him. He's just slow to muster up. So, but you never know in these Griffin races how fast they're going to go. So.
And he's got the form claims over obviously the majority of the field. He beat all bar one of them on his debut. I know you haven't ridden him track work since then, but have the reports been good from the stable?
Tony always has his horse as well, so I assume he's come on from that. So we'll just have to see how he jumps this time and how the race pans out.
Even a small field, but gate number one obviously has got to be a massive advantage. You're going to save plenty of ground down there.
Well, it's definitely, it's got its upset, it's got its highs and lows. Given gate one in the Griffin race, they could spread out, they could not. If he jumps better than he does, or if he'd be in amongst them, so that'd be another thing to overcome. But he's had to go through them in a couple of his trials, so hopefully he's maturing and he puts his best foot forward and he can get through them if he has to. If not, and he finds himself a bit further back, come around the outside and get him late.
Matthew, you were a big part of probably one of the most memorable Griffin races ever run here in Hong Kong, obviously Pakistan style. This is the Pakistan style plate. Great memories of that horse. I'm sure you and Tony would love to win this one.
We'd love to win any race, to be fair. But yeah, so it was a great horse. He was same sort of thing, same sort of racing style. He jumped well. It was a bit slower, but he never seemed to want to muster early. But we always knew he had the ability and he would kick home late. So hopefully this fella can do the same. Hopefully he can jump a bit more on time and jump with the field, and then he can show a bit more improvement and kick clear again.
David, Wide Blue Yonder ran a race last time full of promise, finished off very strongly. You stepping up in trip this weekend?
Yeah, he looked like he was looking for 1,400 or a mile, so we had no hesitation to step him out. He's worked well since. Got an awkward gait, so he'll probably be ridden in a similar pattern to his first run. And if there's enough tempo, he may come over the top.
Yeah, I guess your hand's certainly forced with the barrier, as you say. He's drawn in 13. Since that race, you say he's worked well. Have you seen the definite signs that he's maturing and improving?
He's
and
just
doing
made natural improvement from the feed bin and the way he's doing things. So if it's not this weekend, it'll be a winner soon.
You've got Blake Shin going on board as well. When it comes to hold-up tactics, he's one of the best, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He loves riding that way, so that'll be in the horse's favour.
And from a family of stayers predominantly, has he always shown you that he's probably a 1,400 metre plus horse?
Yeah, he has. And he showed it in Chung Farm. If you look at one of his trials, he was very good late at the end of a 1,200, and so I'm looking forward to it when the races get longer.
He's only a 3-year-old. I mean, without putting him into some sort of ranking, is he one of the nicer types in your stable, possibly?
Oh, look, he's one of the nicer ones for sure. Not as a sprinter, but as a mile plus horse, yes.
Plenty of races for him going forward, I suppose. If he can make the grade, there's plenty of nice options for a horse like him.
There is. We'll probably press on for another race after this, and then it'll be time to back off as he's only a 3-year-old.
Joao Moreira, SENOR TOBA is your ride in the final Group 1 of the season. On the back of what he was able to do in the Queen Mother Memorial, he certainly looks at a live chance.
Oh, apparently, you're right. He did win the Queen Memorial Cup very impressively. He indicated to us that 2,400 meters is probably his best distance. The gear change that Caspar put on, blinkers that Caspar put on him, got him to do things much more straightforward, which I was extremely happy with that. And I'm looking forward to riding him on the weekend.
I guess visually the most impressive part of his race, on the back of what was a relatively sedate tempo, was the final sort of furlong and even after the line. How impressed were you with what he was able to do in that race? Small field, slower pace. I mean, he did finish off very nicely, didn't he?
Yeah, I was very impressed. And what impressed me the most is his finishing. We raced 2,400 meters. I know we went a bit slow, but he had a much more acceleration than any other horse in the race at the finishing. So that's what you would like from a horse stepping up in distance and on rising as he seems to be.
How much of importance is placed on barrier in a race like this, Joe? You're in gate number 2.
Well, honestly, 2,400 meters is not that important, but he always wants to be drawing the inside. So I'm extremely happy to get the gate number 2. He should have every chance to place anywhere he wants to be from that gate, and he should have every chance from there.
I took the liberty of looking up your record in this race, Joe. Now, it's a bit of a glaring omission from your CV that you've never won this. Columbus County second last year, obviously Eagle Way a couple of times, has run top 4. Savvy 9 was 4th a couple of years ago as well. I mean, this would be a nice one to tick off, wouldn't it? I mean, it's got a rich history, this race.
Yeah, it's as you said, it's the only race that I haven't won in Hong Kong, and hopefully it's this time. I'm really keen to get this tick on the box.
Luke, Oriental Smoke is a horse that you're going to ride this weekend. Now, you haven't ridden him in a race, but you've been putting in the hard yards at track work. What have you made of this fellow?
Yeah, Nick, I've been riding him quite a bit of work, and I quite like him. He's a lovely style of horse, and gives me a great feel. So, coming off the back of a win last time, I think he should run well.
And just as an observer of that win, Luke, I mean, what was your take on it? I mean, visually, he was very impressive.
Yeah, look, he hadn't had the run to sort of come out and quicken like he did, but he did put those horses away, so he couldn't have won much better, and hopefully that's given him a bit of confidence going into his next run.
He's got a change in trip this time around. He's going back up to 14. What's been the reports from David Hayes and the team? Are they confident that going back up in trip won't inconvenience him at all?
No, I don't think it will worry him. He's drawn really well to use his gait and just land in a spot, and I don't think that should be too much of a worry.
And obviously, just for you, obviously we're sort of working towards the end of the season. Obviously, momentum has started to pick up once again for you. You're happy enough with the way things are going? Obviously, try and bag a few more before the end of the season, I'm sure, is what you're desiring.
Yeah, look, I'm starting to get a few more rides for a few different people. I would love to ride a few more winners before the end of the season, but I'm happy enough, and hopefully I can build off what I've already done.
Caspar Skyfield, one of your stable stars, will line up on Sunday afternoon. How is he?
He's extremely well, actually. He's in great nick. Yeah, looking forward to the race. Obviously, handicap conditions, carrying 133. It's always tough in Hong Kong, when you've got these up-and-coming sprinters. Richard Gibson's horse looks the one off 113, and David Hayes is receiving weight off me with his horse as well. So they look to be the two toughest ones to crack, but we've carried weight before. He's in great nick, and he'll be running a big race for sure.
The thinking behind the hood, Caspar, he wears the hood this weekend.
Yeah, we keep it on this time. He's a bit more chilled out now, and I think he was good in his work the other day, so we said we'll leave it on. Normally we just put the parade hood on him, but leave this on and see how we go.
Just on his recent work as well, I thought it a fascinating combination. He galloped with SENOR TOBA.
Yeah, well, sometimes we just got to go with what partners we got, and we both had the access to the grass, and he needed a nice hit out, as did SENOR TOBA, so it worked out really good, even though one's going for half his distance, so that's the way you train horses, mate.
Are you happy where he's drawn? He's in gate number 2.
Yeah, he's all right. He'll get a good run from there.
And just talking of obviously carrying weight, it's not unheard of for this race. I think a couple of top weights have won this race down through the past. Captain Sweet and Little Giant, I think, were a couple, so it's not impossible. And last year he ran a very good race in this, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not impossible. Look, he's a quality animal. But like I said, when you're giving away, for me, I'd respect Mr. Gibson's horse the most, really. That 20 points is a lot of weight for a horse that he still hasn't reached his true potential.
And I know I don't want us to get too carried away, but obviously you were quoted in the press as saying that there's possibly the chance that he might get a few stamps in his passport. This horse, is that very much the plan going forward still?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And Japan would be where you'd have him.
Well, we'd look at everywhere: Japan, Australia, Dubai. Hopefully, the world's starting to open up, and hopefully Hong Kong gets on the bandwagon and gets the head out from where it should be, and we'll be in the right spot.
He could be a very exciting horse to duel that travelling with, couldn't he?
I think so, yeah.